Hi everyone, uh, welcome to the channel ServiceNow Save. Today we'll deep dive into one feature, very useful, uh, is the order guide as part of our series Service Catalog in ServiceNow. Uh, Definitely, if you follow Service Catalog, you must have uh, heard about order guide. So the first question is, what is order guide, and why should we use this, right? So, in my point of view, order guide is the uh, special type of catalog item uh, that bundles multiple item and record producer together to be ordered at once. Right. So think for a use case like an employee is joining an organization and they need a laptop, they need monitor, they may need one email account, they need some share drive access, right? All this to do their day-to-day work. So if the company is using the service now, they can ask the employee to order this all separate. That's one option. Or they can ask to order all at once by creating the special type of catalog item called order guide, right? So of course, the second one is the simple, where every item that one new employee need to be added as part of one catalog item and can be requested at once and can be tracked all as a whole. So of course, that is what the best fits for. So if you see that, if you go to the model called order guide, you observe that as part of the dummy data shipped by service now, you already have one or a guide called new hire. However, I would recommend to create new one and understand all the features. But for this session, we'll go through the existing one, that's new hire, and understand each part of it. Part of my personal observation, uh, people is having some knowledge of order guide, but they do not have the deeper knowledge how the rule-based condition works and also how the cascading works. Because of that, they do not leverage the complete feature of order guide. Right. Today we'll deep dive into those areas as well. Let's open the new hire and understand how it is different from the uh, normal catalog item. If you open this, you must be seeing target table is SC cat item guide, not the normal SC cat item, right? So SC cat item guide is the child table of SC cat. Okay. If you scroll down, you will observe that these tabs are already as same as normal catalog item. However, you see one different tab called rule base, right? That is not there in normal catalog item or a record producer. So this is the magic, right? So as part of this new higher order guide, we want to add all these catalog items together and bundle into one item called new hire. And you see that it is having one called external laptop, developer laptop, monitor, email account, iPhone 13, Samsung, all these, right? These are the items that we want to be requested by user when they request to new hire. However, it also having 7 variables. Now, these variables are not the catalog item variable, but these are the variable directly attached with the order guide. So, when employee order the order, this new hire, they have to answer all these questions. They have some UI policy as well. We'll talk about that. So, let us understand if generally employee will not order from the platform like UI 16, they will be having some portal for employee interface. So let us go and understand from here. Go to catalog and just search for the item called new hire, and you'll observe that there is a catalog item new hire available. Right now, in this catalog item, uh, when you see there is a different section: describe needs, choose option, and summary. In describe needs, all these questions are rendered, whatever the variable or question defined at the order guide label. So you may have question that we have 7 questions as part of 7 variables, but why only 5 is rendered, right? So you should have uh, solution by seeing the tabs, that is catalog UI policies. So if you follow my session on uh, like this service catalog series, you might have seen that I already covered somewhere UI policies, right? So catalog UI policies is the client side validation or restriction to hide certain variable, to make certain variable mandatory, or to set some value in some variables, right? So if you see that there are two UI policies which so one is hide device type and other attribute. So this particular UI policy making sure that device type is not rendered while you order the new hire. Let's go ahead and see what is the condition they have added. So they added that okay, normally when the standard package is no, hide these two variable. Okay, so let's make this true. I just for the timing, or else what we can do is we can remove the UI policy itself. Just for our learning, we can make UI policy active false. So this UI policy will not be considered while the item is rendered for ordering, right? So let's go ahead and make this active false. All right. So once I make this active false, what we'll observe that we had only five variable when we were ordering the order guide. Now we having all the seven variable basically, right? So this device type and mobile device type came. All right. So next part, what we see is the rule base, right? So rule base we have eight. Now see where the rule base comes. So first of all, we have to answer the questions that is mandatory here, right? So let's suppose that I'm giving the group as a finance, and when I click on next, this is the tab where all the items that are associated with the order guide will be rendered. So we have eight items. However, surprisingly, I see only five items, right? So why the other three are not showing, right? So this question can be answered by going into configuration of the items. So if you see that in the list we have something called Apple iPhone 13, but Apple iPhone 13 is not shown in the ordering time, right? Why and how can we configure, right? So you this question uh, answer will be when we open the record. So don't open the item. Please open the record from the this link. If you open the record, what will observe that is there is some condition attached, right? So every rule-based item is having some specific condition, and the condition is when the mobile device type is iPhone 13, then only render this particular uh, item for ordering. So you understood how we can control the ordering or non-ordering of particular item by adding the conditions with the help of variables, right? That's why don't see all the items as part of ordering. Now you see the condition. If I choose in describe needs section, if you choose the uh, mobile device type as iPhone, then you will see that even Apple iPhone 13 will be able to you will be able to order. So we have to choose the mobile device type as iPhone because of this condition. Now, if I click on next, you'll observe that you have even Apple iPhone 13 also available for ordering. Similarly, for other item also there will be some condition, and since condition is not satisfied, you do not see that item during the order time. Understood how the rule base work and how the condition for the rule base works. Very useful feature, and I'm sure that many of you might not uh, open this and see. So from today onwards, when you do not see any items as part of rule base, please, as part of order, please follow this page and go inside the condition to see why it is. So this is one, right? So, all right. Now the next part we have is okay, so the item is ordered. Item can be ordered from here and all will be going together. Now, if I see my catalog item called new hire, all these eight are only catalog item. When I say catalog item means the record from SC cat item table. But In start only, I told there can be also record producer, which is a part of uh, order guide. So we can add one record producer just to see how the behavior is different when we order the record producer from the order guide. So let us click on new, and as part of the include this item, let's add something called create incident, which is my record producer, right? So if you follow the series, you must have understanding of record producer, which is a different type of catalog item that generally being used to create a record into target table, not the normal request item flow, right? So I have one create incident, click on submit. Now this particular order guide is having 8 items now. 7 is the catalog item and one is record producer called create incident. Let us add some order also so that it will decide when to render the create. So let's make it 50. All right. So now we have order guide with one record producer and remaining catalog item. Let us refresh this page, ordering page once again. All right. So let's fill that finance. Okay. Other very important concepts I want to cover before we go to the ordering of this. Now, these variables, as I claimed, is coming from the order guide variables, right? Hiring manager, hiring group, and all these. One very important feature, let us suppose, okay, so this variable we filled, now we go to next, and here we'll have a all the item and we'll have a variable at item level as well. You see, we have one variable called urgency and describe below. Uh, these are the variable at the item level. Sorry. So uh, these also has a variable. So we have to fill the variable at order guide level as well as variable at the item level. Now there can be a chances where the same variable we need to fill at the order guide level as well as item level. Let us take one example. Okay, so we have one order guide, new hire, which is having one variable called hiring manager. What I have done is, as part of the rule base, I have one item called standard laptop. In a standard laptop, I added one variable, same called hiring manager. Possible, right? I want to detail of hiring manager because when standard laptop was ordered as one request, you might need to gather the manager information, right? So I have one variable called hiring manager at item level, right? So if I want to order that, and let's make it mandatory. So I have a hiring manager, and this is a mandatory true. We're talking very important uh, feature of the order guide. So I have one variable called hiring manager that is the mandatory. All right. Now I save it. Okay. Now if I go to again the order page, what you will observe that I already answered the question of hiring manager at the order guide level. Basically, that suppose I have added a bench and I choose some kind of group and I go to next. Again, in this page, I have to answer the hiring manager. It's mandatory, right? Is it not the repetition? The answer is yes, right? We have to answer again the hiring manager. Though I want same hiring manager, whatever I choose at order guide level should automatically be chosen at the item level also. That feature is supported by one configuration called cascade variable. So once you choose the cascade variable, whatever variable is filled at the order guide level will automatically be cascaded to the item level. By just checking one checkbox, even if all the item is having the same variable, everything will be automatically filled using the cascade feature. Now, if I try to refresh the page and order again, what you will observe is we do not have to fill a hiring manager at the catalog item level. So if I choose Beth here and I choose the department development and go to next, you don't see any mandatory field in external lab. The reason being, it is automatically filled by the order guide cascade variable. Very useful feature, right? Maybe I think people doesn't know that, and they keep on filling the same thing at the guide level and item level. Very useful feature. I highly recommended to use it. But make sure that you choose the same type and same name. Otherwise, it will be weird. Of course, the name should be same. And if you choose, suppose there we have a name called hiring manager of reference type, and item label you choose hiring manager as of single line types, right? Single line text. What will happen? The sys ID of the manager will be shown here. So highly recommended to use the same type and same name. All right. Now in order page, we have to fill all the mandatory field of the item or record producer. So I could put laptop. Grammar. So this is like share drive access. So this is one incident I'm creating, right? Okay, this is some suggestion coming from the thing. So let's ignore that and fill some mandatory fields from here. So we have something called test at the rate of so these are mandatory field only it's showing. You can go ahead to any item level and fill all the variable that is part of that. So that you should do. And once everything is filled, you can click on next. So I'm ordering all these, how many? Six, one record producer and five catalog item we are ordering at once, right? So that is the benefit. If I don't have order guide feature, I have to add one by one, I have to order all the six, right? All right, now I have the option to order it. Now, if I order it, we have this checkout page that comes generally for normal catalog item also. I click on checkout, and this is my page where it's shown me, okay, you have ordered five. Sorry, I ordered six. Why it is showing five only? The reason being, out of the six, five is the catalog item and one is a record producer. So if I refresh this page, you will see that still the five is only coming. One is the record producer, right? So these are the request approval phase. These are and these doesn't have any flow. So these are coming from the flow. Maybe if we deep dive into the flow designer or the workflow, we'll come to know. But yeah, these two does not have any flow attached at the item level, so you don't see anything. But one is not coming. So for to know why it is not coming, you should go to your request tab. So once you go to request, you will see that, all right, there is a five requested item and also one incident shared drive access. So this is incident created, right? This is incident created because record producer is not having the flow of request management. It is just to create one record into one table. That's why you see it separate. But all these five clubbed together as part of one request. So request number is same. REQ 1000, whatever the number. But if you open the record, this is called RITM. Requested item is different. So one request is having multiple requested item. That is how the order guide works. If you want to see the backend how it works, you can go to the my request and you will observe that you have one particular request, right? This last one request which is having multiple RITM. See, separate RITM. So you can track it as item level. This item is in waiting for approval phase. This item is for manager approval phase. So different item is having different stage of fulfillment. However, these two item does not have anything because they do not have any flow attached. How can I claim that? So if you click on the item, you go to the catalog item page, you will see that in process engine, we do not have anything checked. That's why you do not see any flow. But if you open this particular item, you will see that it is having one flow attached called service catalog item request. That's why you see some flow attached. So that is how it is. One request clubbed together item and record producer, order it and get tracked everything at one place. That is what the use of order guide. What we have learned? We have learned how to use order guide, why to use order guide, and also how to understand the condition attached with the rule base and how to use the cascade variable feature to cascade the variable value from the order guide level to the item level. That's all for today. If you like, if you are liking the video and you want me to create something more in different area of service now, I recommend please like and subscribe so that it will encourage me to add more video in this area. That's all for today. Thank you.